Hello everybody, Alex here, and today we're talking about my favorite settings for the Sony A6400. Okay, jumping right on in, you're just going to go through the menu. Let's just start off at the top. So our first adjustment is going to come from the first little tab at the top, and then number 11. Go down to picture profile. I have set mine under picture profile 1. Go ahead and just select 1, go over to the right a little bit, and you're gonna change the gamma to HLG3. Go down to color mode, you're gonna change the color mode to BT 2020, and then change your detail to -7. This is gonna be helpful later on. All right. And then now tab 13, we're gonna go to our peaking settings, turn peaking display on, levels to mid, and the color to red. You can have the color be whatever you want. I prefer red. The first thing onto the next little tab at the top, file format. We're gonna go 4K just to get the best picture out of this little guy. And then record settings, we're gonna go 24 frames per second at 100 megabytes to get as much data as possible. S&Q settings, we're gonna change that to 24p. And 120 frames per second, you're gonna get some really nice slow motion. Going over to the next tab, autofocus drive speed to fast, autofocus tracking sensitivity to sensitive. So it's gonna like really track everything. It's gonna be fast. That's all that there is. And then initial focus magnification to 4. Your audio record levels are gonna change based off of you, I suppose, so I'm not gonna go over that. I do have the audio levels displayed. Okay, in the third tab of the second tab up top, third menu of the second tab up, I don't know. We have movie with shutter. One of the terrible designs about this camera is that there's a little itty record button right here, and it's not really pronounced or anything, but with the movie with shutter, when you're under the movie mode on this little dial, you can press your shutter button and it's gonna start recording. So that just makes life a whole lot easier. Okay, on to number 6 out of 9 from that second little tab, Finder Monitor. So right now it's set to auto. So if I move my hand over here, you see the screen turns off like that. But we don't want that. That's very annoying. So go ahead and set that to monitor manual. Go under to your zebras. Turn those on. I have mine at 95. Okay, now into the good stuff. We're at the custom key settings. So number 1, this is gonna be this little button right on here. I have that to change between autofocus and manual focus. And then the little trash can, what? Yeah, okay, a little trash can at the bottom. I have that for my zebras. So when I click that, I can see like how exposed things are and if stuff are overexposed. Number 1, the little button on the dial, I have that as my focus magnifier. So I can punch in if I'm doing manual focus. And then number 2, I have that for peaking. Getting your focus correct when you're doing it manually is very, very important. So I have everything to help me do that. The number 3, it's default for your ISO, but I just have that set as ISO, so I know it's always going to be that. And then number 4, down here at the bottom, that's my white balance. White balance is super important. I haven't changed the white balance in my other 2 videos, or other 3 videos, other previous videos, whatever the case may be. I don't know how many videos I have. I have that set on auto white balance, and I've noticed while I'm editing that it starts off looking really warm and really nice, but then it shifts to like a bluish color. So you want to change your white balance. It's going to help bring consistency through everything. And then finally, this little button right there at the top, I have that set to gamma display assist, and we'll go over that in just a second. So going down the function menu, so when you press the little FN, I changed those settings up a little bit. So in my menu, I have marker display, white balance, just to be redundant, focus area for your autofocus. I have my audio record levels, my picture profile settings, and the S&Q frame rate in case I want to do like a time lapse or something like that. Okay, going over to the little toolbox onto the first little tab. Here we have the actual gamma display assist. So if you had noticed when we were setting up our picture profile, we used HLG. So here underneath the gamma display assist, I have that set to HLG because right now HLG it's a log format, so everything is kind of flat, but it's harder to work with when you're just shooting, especially if you're unfamiliar with it. So what this gamma display assist does is it mimics what your image could look like in post-production after you're done with it. So I have mine set to HLG 709 since, well, that's just my own personal preference. We did use the BT 2020 colors, so you could set it for BT 2020, but I felt like that was a little bit too vibrant for me, and the 709 looked more true to color, but you can change that based off of your own preference. And going over to the fourth little the thing, number 4, remote control. I have that set to on, just in case you want to use a remote. And that was just a really quick video going over the best settings I've found for the Sony A6400 so far. Obviously the camera hasn't even been out for a week yet, so I haven't been doing too much filming with it, so I might end up making another one of these videos. And those are the settings I'm sticking with, so those are the settings that I told you guys about. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is probably the bigger one of those things. I don't know. I do like the comments though. I've been getting a lot of good feedback and comments on some of my recent videos, so thank you so much for that. I'm always like mentally prepared to say an outro, but I don't have an outro. So that really just messes with me, because like I really want to say an outro, but I don't have an outro. Whatever. Have a great rest of your night, and be sure to check back for the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, I guess. Until next time. Yep, okay.